Good morning from Seattle, Washington. It's time for Coffee and Cosmos with Robyn. My name is Robyn Fritz, and today we are going to join together in a solstice celebration. So gather your crystals, gather your thoughts, and let's chat about the solstice, about the end of the year and the beginning of a new year. And so today is also the end of my broadcast for the year. I'll be back on January 6th. But here we are coming upon, in the Northern Hemisphere, the winter solstice. In the Southern Hemisphere, the summer solstice. And this is our opportunity to gather together today in celebration. So welcome again to Coffee and Cosmos with Robyn. My name is Robyn Fritz. I'm an intuitive and spiritual consultant and certified past life regression specialist based in Seattle, Washington. And as we start our solstice celebration today, hi, chiming in, thank you. Marina, you were perfect. I'd like everyone to type in where you're joining us from today. And we're also going to take time to settle some intentions for the coming year. So first, we will start our solstice celebration by getting grounded and balanced with the crystal phallic. So all year you've been familiar with him. So here's an opportunity again to begin our solstice celebration with grounding and balancing with this rare power crystal. Phallic is citrine Lemurian quartz, and as you concentrate on him and on healing and nurturing yourself, you can tap into his energy however your intuition works most strongly. So you may see pictures, hear him chat, feel his energy, or just know that you're connected to his energy, and of course to everyone here in community. So focus on Phallic. I'm going to put it right in front of me. Take a deep breath. And as you breathe in all healthy energy, imagine it going straight to your gut. And then as you exhale, just release what doesn't serve you. So if you take your attention to the top of your head now, imagine bringing mind, body, and spirit together in community. And as you breathe down from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, just let go of the cares of the day and feel all of the blocks dissolving away. So breathing down from the top of your head, down your face, your shoulders, chest, hips, knees, and feet. Just feel your energy getting grounded, you're feeling more settled. And now as you breathe up from the bottom of your feet, imagine that energy line reversing, going up from your feet, your knees, your hips, chest, shoulders, face, and the top of your head. If you've joined these broadcasts in the past, you know that connecting with Phallic's energy is a wide open crown chakra, and so you might be a little lightheaded. So that's an indication that your intuition runs strongly towards feelings. So today, you know, our ancestors celebrated the seasonal changes. It was a matter of life or death for them, and a way for them to acknowledge that there are other beings that we share the planet and the universe with. And they can be animals, they can be trees, our homes, our businesses, and certainly what we call gods and goddesses. And today we are just on the verge of winter solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere, which means the Southern Hemisphere is about to celebrate the summer solstice. So the seasons change. So as we start this solstice celebration today, one of the things that we can do is reflect back on this year. What did the year 2019 mean for you? What were the things that were triumphs for you? What were things that could have gone better? What did you learn from all the various experiences you had during this last year? If I think back on it, I think of the many walks I shared with my dog, and the times I played with a cat, the wonderful clients I've met, being out in nature, celebrating with friends, learning new things. It's been quite an extraordinary year, and I'm sure all of you feel the same way. So, one of the first things we want to do here as we come together for this solstice celebration is to recognize that with Fallon's energy and with it grounding and balancing, we're inviting in your spiritual teams, okay, to join with us as we create sacred space for this solstice celebration. If you take a deep breath, invite your spiritual team to step close to you, invite them to support you. And now's an opportunity for you to share right in here where you said hello and said where you're from. Is as we go into the ceremony and we now are in sacred space, what is the one really limiting belief that you experienced this year and that you're ready to let go of? Here at the end of the year, for all of us, regardless of what hemisphere, December is the end of the year. What limiting belief will you be letting go of this year? What are you ready to just say, no, that doesn't fit me anymore? You want to chime in and let me know what you're thinking and feeling? Hi, everyone. Thanks, everyone from Africa, Oregon. I was born and raised, Belgium, Canada, Florida, South Africa. So I can share that for me, a limiting belief that I struggle with all year and maybe all my life was not being good enough. Not being good enough for friends and family. And of course, we know that's not true, but we always want to be better, right? We always want to be perfect if we could be. And so that's a belief I'm more than willing to let go of, is not being good enough for friends and family. And recognizing that we are humans, we make mistakes, we grow, we learn new things, we have fun, we have hard times, and it's okay to be who we are. And that is valuable in the world. And you're welcome to type in any limiting beliefs that you are willing to let go of, or just silently connect with them here. And imagine that you're acknowledging those limiting beliefs and willing to let them go. And as you breathe through that, imagine that you're connecting to a crystal Fallon, and any crystals that you have around you are there to support you and give themselves a new jolt for the new year. I'm sorry, I'm trying to scroll through here. Okay, Eric, distrust with people. Yes, that's a big one. That's a tough one. And that's a really great one to let go of. Lots of good energy will come from letting go of that basic distrust that we have with people. You were never ready to open your business until this last quarter and you started your accounting business. Well, congratulations, Neer. I hope I said your name right. That's wonderful. So you let go of that belief that maybe you weren't ready to start your business and now you're all ready and jumping into it. Congratulations. That's a big, huge step. Oh. So there are other, so great. So thanks for chiming in. So there are other things that I know in working with clients during the year that people were willing to let go of. And I tell you, because I also work as a medium, connecting with people's lost humans or animals in the afterlife, is that the biggest block that we all carry, no matter how hard we work at it, is this lack of self-love. And this lack of self-love goes into the feeling of not being good enough, of distrusting people, of not being sure about whether you're going to take a next leap in your personal or business life. And I know from working as a medium that the lack of self love is really the biggest thing that we all need to conquer. It's, and some people think, well, that's just wrapped up in ego. You're talking about self love, that's just egotistical. And it's not. Self love is really this ability to believe in yourself, to love yourself, even though you make mistakes, even though you're not perfect, even though sometimes you don't succeed at what you set out to do. And loving yourself, even if you succeed so well that you could literally think that you're the apex person in the universe. And the reality is, we're all here working together to be our best selves. So letting go of that lack of self-love and what we call unconditional love. Sometimes people make fun of that. Like, what does unconditional mean? And unconditional means that it doesn't matter what kind of mistakes you make, how many times you fall down. It's that you keep getting up again, and that you value yourself and your soul as you're a person moving forward, growing your soul in all of the experiences that we have as humans. And I know if you've joined me in previous broadcasts, I will say that the hardest job in the universe is becoming human. When a soul takes a human body, it takes on doubts and insecurities and all of the things that we notice a lot of our animal companions do not have. And because they're closer to what their souls have experienced in the past, maybe even a little bit more easygoing, a little less judgmental about themselves. So let's all let go of this idea that we shouldn't love ourselves, or that we don't love ourselves because we're not good enough, or that religion and culture tell us we're never going to be quite as good as we could be. So we can let go of that. And as you take a deep breath and feel that coming in, imagine that you've got, here we go, the energy of Fallon connecting with you, your crystals connecting with you, all of us here in community coming together, letting go of our limiting beliefs. And now as we do that, and as we look forward to next year, as we celebrate the solstice here together, what is the one thing that you're looking for in the new year, right? What is the one thing that you will carry into the new year to help you be your best self, mind, body, and spirit? That's what we're doing here every week together, is learning and exploring and growing together in mind, body, and spirit. So what is the number one thing that you are going to take into the new year to keep moving forward, to keep growing your soul? That main thing that we've all come here to do, to keep growing your soul, mind, body, and spirit. For me personally, it's learning to let go of those doubts that I have, learning to let go of hurt feelings, learning to recognize that other people are in their own space, having their own things going on, and it's all okay. We're all learning and growing. Some people will not be able to let go of their grudges or their mistakes, and that's for them. But for me, I'm going to continue to move forward, accepting my limitations, rejoicing in the successes I have, rejoicing in the many clients that I have that I can work with and see them grow and blossom. So moving forward with self-love. So the thing that we all lack is self-love, and moving forward with choosing to love myself. And I hope all of you take that as at least one of the things that you will look forward to in the future. Let's see if anyone wants to share what they're going to move forward. And I'm trying to get this to scroll. Okay, and awesome that you're sharing that, Anne. It makes it feel very vulnerable, doesn't it? You're saying exactly what you were thinking, that I am not good enough to be loved, right? So let's let go of that together. Let's let go of that in community. We are good enough. And we'll let other people worry about why they're not loving themselves well enough. And together here in this community, where we share that, Terry sharing, I need to remember the things I have done in the past does not define the person I am today. I'm learning to accept the things my younger self didn't know. Terry, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And it's true, isn't it? As we, I was watching someone play with their young child the other day, and one of the children was literally 8 months old. I mean, I looked at that little girl and I said, oh my gosh, I see the light in you, little one. This very old soul has come to this couple, and they are just ready to support and nurture her. And it's like, how aware were we at our younger age? When I was a child, I could feel beings putting their hands on my cheek at night, and I was terrified because it was like ghosts, and they were bad, right? Maybe even nuclear radiation, because I grew up in that old nuclear age. And the reality is now, years later, is that those were my spirit guides trying to say hello, and I didn't have that knowledge about who they were then. So letting go of our mistakes as a younger person, and knowing that those mistakes that we've made have contributed to our increasing knowledge of ourselves and the world around us, and our increasing ability to love ourselves, to love the world around us, to recognize that we don't always have the best success at something, but we're always working towards it. And to look at other people and realize, wow, those ideas aren't my ideas. And we hope that they can work through whatever issues they may have and learn to love themselves and to value the world around them. So Jade says you've neglected yourself and put your focus on others. Great. So Jade's making a resolution for the new year, if you will, a feeling and a determination in the next year to take care of herself, mind, body, and spirit. That's perfect. That's perfect. Exactly what we want. Self-love, mind, body, and spirit, becoming our best selves in the way that we can. Motivational speeches pose a real problem. Oh, because everybody's giving motivational speeches. Don't you think we reached a point where motivational speeches pose a real problem? How can I see my life from someone else's perspective? Well, I don't know. When I listen to what other people say about what they've learned from their lives, I think, okay, did I learn that from my life? Is that comment relevant to my experiences? And if it is, how can I further involve that in my life? Or if it isn't, what speaks more completely to me? So, what is it in you that you want to celebrate? And what is it in you that you want to let go of for the year? And I was vulnerable and shared mine, and other people may not be the same. I see lots of people who are really super confident, never have any doubts, and never have a failure in business. And I'm like, oh, or never lose a friend, or never pick a rotten apple out of the bin at the grocery store. Life is full of little things that happen. And the question is how we work with those, how we learn from them, how we learn from what other people say and think, and how we want to think. So I hope that answers your question. You're not seeing your life from someone else's perspective. You're pulling out from whatever they say what is most valuable to you, including that what they say might not be valuable at all and may indicate a shortcoming that you are determined not to face because you don't have that, or because something else is more important. It's good. So reflection is awesome, right? And Lori's going to let go of doubt and gain confidence. Perfect. Terry's bringing her faith with her, knowing the universe has your back. Grateful for all the blessings I have. And that's perfect, right? Always being grateful for our blessings, This year for me was one of what I thought was a coming loss, losing a beloved relative, a woman who is my aunt and my godmother, given a terminal diagnosis of cancer. and then out of the blue being pronounced cancer free. Because sometimes chemotherapy really works, because sometimes it's not time. And I had to think back on that and think, oh my gosh, what a blessing that I have this person in my life still, and that her family does as well. And I've heard from a lot of clients who have had tough medical diagnoses this year. And what amazing humility and courage they have in saying, okay, I'm going to fight this. I'm going to move forward. I am going to be my best. So that is an awesome thing. And knowing that we are there and we are being supported. Maura's taking time for herself. Eric's trying to release fears and insecurities and opening himself to the flow of the positive universe. Awesome. Making deeper connections with others. That's really it, right? Making deeper connections with others. Okay, so Abdi says, another point I want to make is that whatever I'm saying right now is that you're saying me is nice and it is what should be felt and believed, but how could all these beliefs included consistently in our thinking system? I think what you're asking is, how can we always keep ourselves positive and moving forward? How can we put self-love there right in front of us and keep moving forward with that? I'll tell you one thing. I didn't become a medium like other people became a medium. I became a medium because my dad, who died in 1994, asked me to, and he works with the dead who have newly arrived in the afterlife. And he asked me to work with the dead, to work as a medium, and goes and brings the dead back to talk with us. So I don't have to sit there and wait for them to show up. They just come. And that means that we can have this really deep conversation with their loved ones. And it's an opportunity for people to say goodbye again and to maybe clear up any doubts or confusion they had. But the number one thing my dad was doing and asking me to be a medium was asking me to learn to love myself, because I did not. Right? So when I talk about self-love, when I talk about letting go of a limiting belief and choosing a belief that will help us grow in the new year, I speak from personal experience, having been handicapped and ill and literally being unable to work for years. I had lots of reasons to not believe in myself. But what I have learned is that we choose to love ourselves regardless. And that's what keeps us moving forward. I had to learn that from my dad coming back from the dead and literally saying, hey, you don't love yourself, kid. Get over that. Because that's a limiting belief in this life, and it's a limiting belief in the afterlife. So you choose the things that you believe in. And I would encourage you to choose the things that make you feel that you can love yourself, that make you believe that you can love yourself, and make you believe that you are worthy of loving yourself. And that when we do that, because we work right there deeply on ourselves, when we do that, then we grow and we are capable of helping others around us. And I think that's the way we're capable of helping others around us. And when we live in community, as we all do, reaching out and deepening community connections is part of our life. So I hope that answers your question. And I hope it gives you something to think about, gives us all something to think about for the coming year. So fear mongering, yeah, I don't know what belief systems you're talking about. But or maybe Eric, the belief systems that were not good enough. I don't know. But, as I always said, and I said earlier in the broadcast, it's tough to be a human. We have lots of doubts and we have lots of insecurities that I literally do not see in our animal family members, at least not to that extent. And so I know that when our souls choose to be humans, that we're giving ourselves the opportunity to really grow, because we grow through the self-doubts. We grow through the mistakes. So This has been wonderful. Thank you all for sharing. And I hope that you go away and in the next few weeks, as you celebrate the solstice, whether it's a winter or summer solstice, wherever you live in the world, that you think that here is a community, here at Humanity Healing is a place where we can come together and share and learn and grow together. And that helps the world be a better place because it helps us be better people. So here's a solstice prayer or to honor this coming week. We invite the darkness to breathe and release. We invite the light for growth. We invite our ancestors to embrace love and acceptance. We invite our living and deceased beloveds to love themselves. We invite ourselves to love ourselves. We choose to embrace love and acceptance. We invite the sun to nurture us in darkness, to nurture the planet, to bless those in the southern hemisphere who are entering summer. And we invite the dark to nurture us in the northern hemisphere, to prepare us for spring. We come together in peace. We end the year with love, acceptance, and determination. So I want to thank you for joining us today for the Solstice Celebration. I hope you create one of your own. It's December 21st, so it's Saturday. I hope you create one of your own. And when you do that, that you remember all of those who came together in community today in this place that Humanity Healing and Om Times have created for us. So this is my last broadcast of the year. I will be back here on January 6th. And in the meantime, I hope you all have a great holiday season, that you get a lot of rest, that you get ready to celebrate the solstice in your own way. And this afternoon, I invite you to join me on my radio show at omtimes.com radio. It's the practical, intuitive, mind, body, spirit for the new world. This will be my last radio show. It's the end of an era for me. One of the things I reflected on this year was that I needed to let go of some things to let other things come in. And so this will be my last radio show. But I urge you to support omtimes.com radio and all the wonderful people who are sharing their knowledge, their experience, their vulnerabilities, and their passions with you there. And that if you like these broadcasts, that you like this page, that you like my page, The Practical Intuitive, Robyn and Fritz. And if you'd like to work with me, I offer personal and business intuition, mediumship, animal communication, space clearing, past life and between life regression, soul progression clearing, and energy healing, especially with Fallon, the citrine Lemurian quartz. And also, if you're interested, starting in January, I'm offering an online mentoring program once a month, Living Intuitively. How we can all come together and really use our intuition in practical and meaningful ways, and what that means for each of us. So there'll be more of that on my personal page and on my business page, and I'm looking forward to doing that with those of you who want to join in with that. But I thank you for joining me all year on these broadcasts. They cover a huge range of topics. I'm always open to questions, to suggestions for new topics, and I look forward to seeing you again in the new year. So thank you for joining us today. And as one last thing, you cross your hands on your heart and you breathe into your hands. Imagine you're breathing healthy energy into your hands. And now you're offering it to the world for it to do what it will. And then you put health, you cross your hands on your heart, breathe energy into your hands. Imagine that you're getting yourself grounded and balanced back in your body. You can do this exercise whenever you want to bring healthy energy into your life. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you back here on January 6th. Take care and Happy New Year.